Hey, Gary. Okay.
Yep. Check. Test. Hello, everyone, and welcome at Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park.
Microphone check 1 2 3 4. I think that Hershey's Cookies and Cream is the best candy bar ever made. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Mic check. A B C D E F G. I can hear you, Tyler. Can you hear me?
Can you get my headphones just a little bit more up? Will you go again, Dave?
Mic check 1 2 3 4 5. I also like Snickers bars and Twix.
There we go. That's good.
All right.
Thanks,
Gary.
Here's the starting lineup for your New Mexico United.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park for tonight's U.S. Open Cup matchup between Phoenix Rising and New Mexico United. My name's Tyler Ortega, joined on the call tonight by David Carl. We're pleasure to welcome in Manny Esquivel and David Estrada of our Spanish language broadcast team here for the pregame as well.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, David. Va a ser un juego donde nos vamos a divertir todos. ¿A poco no, David?
Un juego de fútbol esta noche muy bueno.
Donde esperamos haya muchos goles.
David, this is the third time these two clubs have played in this tournament. New Mexico victorious back in 2019. Phoenix returning the favor just last season out at Wild Horse Pass. Tell us a little bit about this matchup here tonight.
Yeah, a little obvious to say these two clubs don't necessarily get along. Played each other 8 times in total across all competitions, 4 draws, and then 2 wins for each side. Here in the U.S. Open Cup 2019, New Mexico United fans will well remember Cody Meisel's penalty kick save. They advanced 6-5. New Mexico United does to the third round on A.J. Cochran. And then in 2022, Phoenix Rising returns the favor in Phoenix. 2-1, the final score there. The winning goal scored by Greg Hurst, assisted by Santi Moar, two people that New Mexico United fans know very well.
Let's have a look at our players to watch tonight, presented by the Somos Unidos Foundation. Manny, let's start it off with Phoenix's captain, the 32-year-old. Tell us about Darnell King.
Así es, hablemos de Darnell King, un jugador con mucha experiencia, bastante rápido, David, por la parte derecha, un jugador de 32 años que aparte de estar con Phoenix ha tenido experiencias importantes con San Antonio y seguramente el día de hoy le va a dar mucha plusvalía a este equipo, sobre todo con su rapidez por la parte derecha y capitanía también. Ahora David nos dirá los jugadores a seguir por parte también de New Mexico United.
Sí, para nosotros, Alex Wagner, un producto de la academia, an academy product that we're very excited to see. He's making his debut with New Mexico United, and obviously he scored goals for the academy. We're hopeful that he can make a goal tonight for United.
Thank you. Now I'll go back with you guys.
Thank you, guys. If you want to hang out with them, you can catch the Spanish language broadcast on Estrella TV. This is the third matchup between these two clubs in this tournament. The first, however, at this venue here at the Lab, the 2023 season by Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary. We'll be back on the other side of this with lineups and kickoff.
I hear him chatting the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys, not so tough, but minds keep walking. Just too sharp with the prize, white girls better tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan, if you wanna touch mine, please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees, I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in the cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for war, man, forget my peace. You take the west, I'll take on the east.
I learned my first trick at age 11. It's always been a family thing. Just the three of us out skating the city. Albuquerque has heart. It lifted me up all the way to my dream of skating in the Olympics.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Tonight's match is presented by CNM, New Mexico's largest and premier community college. Dave, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's starting 11s presented by Bud Light. We're going to start off first here with New Mexico. This is how Zach Prince is choosing his turquoise 11 here tonight. Alex Wagner getting the start up top, the Taos native. You're going to see a back three of Will Seymour, Kalen Ryden, Josh Suggs, and the Albuquerque native Ford Parker between the sticks tonight.
Yeah, the story here at the top of the lineup. Alex Wagner, number 72, as you mentioned. The Taos native, as New Mexico United wears their Taos kits, getting his first career start. He's surrounded by two former Phoenix men in Santi Moar and Greg Hurst.
Speaking of Phoenix, this is how head coach Juan Guerra is choosing his 11 tonight. It's the German goalkeeper getting his second U.S. Open Cup start on the season. The former OC man, Patrick Rakowski. In front of him, you're going to see Darnell King, Daniel Crutzen, and Alejandro Fuenmayor. A midfield four that you're going to see with Babukar Jai. And then up top, you're going to see Varela getting things going.
We mentioned Darnell King in the intro there as one of just two players left from last season in this starting 11 who played for Phoenix Rising. To be a very different look than New Mexico has seen in the past.
This is going to be a lot of fun here tonight. U.S. Open Cup going on here for the first time at the Lab. And plenty to get into with the rivalry between these two clubs. But before we do that, I'd like to welcome everybody in. Thank you for watching, whether you're watching out in the Valley, whether you're watching here in Albuquerque, whether you're watching around the world. Thanks for tuning in. This is the oldest soccer tournament in the country, David, and it's just a special place to be, especially with the matchup that we have here tonight.
100+ years this tournament's been around, the oldest knockout tournament in the continental United States. Really great, really a lot of fun. And in 2019, obviously, New Mexico United going all the way to the quarterfinal. A lot of really great memories, beating a couple MLS teams along the way in Colorado Rapids and FC Dallas. So a lot of fun memories there for New Mexico. Obviously, last season, New Mexico United's tournament run ended at the hands of Phoenix Rising, as we talked about in the intro there. A 2-1 victory for Phoenix in the second round.
You and I were at that game out at Wild Horse Pass. It was Will Seymour opening up the scoring with an own goal in the 6th minute. That put Rising up. Nico Brett found the equalizer for the Black and Yellow in the 65th minute. And then, as you mentioned, the Scotsman Greg Hurst. Actually, that was his second go-ahead goal in 4 days against New Mexico, as he scored the go-ahead goal in league play just 4 days prior to that U.S. Open Cup match.
Well, you've heard the old saying, if you can't beat them, join them. Well, if you can't beat them, bring them in. You brought in Greg Hurst. You brought in Santi Moar, New Mexico United, hoping that those additions from Phoenix will make a big difference against Phoenix here tonight.
So just a slight delay here at kickoff. Not to worry, we'll be underway here momentarily. So for New Mexico United, hosting Phoenix, Dave, these two teams, we talked about it in the pregame run-up. They've played 8 times in all competitions. This, however, just the second time these two teams meeting at the Lab. The last time, you got to go all the way back to September of 2019. That is pre-pandemic, pre-COVID. It was a crazy match, to say the least. New Mexico going up 2-0, and then a second-half brace from Joey Calistri equaling things out. So while we've got a second, let's have a look here at our PNM Coaches Spotlight. That's Zach Prince. Led the club to the highest point total in club history last season, 51 to be exact. And with that, we have kicked off. It is New Mexico United versus Phoenix Rising U.S. Open Cup round 3 here at the Lab. Tyler Ortega, David Carl here on the call tonight. New Mexico in their Taos third kits. We're in turquoise, and Phoenix in their road whites. That is Patrick Rakovsky, the former Orange County man, getting the start here for Rising tonight. Early on, you see a high press employed by Zach Prince's men, Dave. And something to keep an eye on is the striker pairing that we see up top for the first time. It's Greg Hurst and Alex Wagner.
Really interesting when we saw the opening line, the lineup come in from New Mexico United, just how those guys would shape up top. Would it be a dual striker system? Would it be Wagner up there on his own? It looks like in possession right now. Looks like Wagner's up there on his own, but you see Hursty getting up there up top as well. We'll see if he's going to be flanked by Moar on the left side as well. So it could be a solo striker system, could be a dual striker system. We'll see how this pans out.
And speaking of Hursty, you're pinch hitting here tonight in the booth.
That's why I'm wearing a jersey. I'm not very professional.
It's all right. It's all right. We appreciate you for filling in and sending our best out to Chris Hurst, who is out just battling hopefully what we believe is just a minor illness. Taking this one in from the couch tonight. So pleasure to have you in here, Dave.
Well, there's one thing we know about Chris Hurst is that he never stops. He's out coaching. He's out doing a million things, calling these matches. So nice for him to have a night on the couch this evening.
Night on the couch, and not only that, but I got a text from him pregame. He said he was absolutely, and the term he used was gutted, to be missing Alex Wagner's start here at the Lab, making his home debut. Of course, Wagner playing through the Rio Rapids Youth Academy, coming through the New Mexico United Academy, which has led up to this point here tonight.
Academy off to a 2-0 start in the early season here, and Wagner was the Golden Boot winner at the Academy Playoffs tournament in Tampa last season.
Scores a lot of goals, does Alex Wagner. He scored 6 goals in 4 games at that tournament. Made his professional debut versus Monterey Bay just a few weeks ago. Second half sub there.
And how fitting that when he makes his first career start, he is wearing the Taos kit representing the town that he grew up in, Taos, New Mexico.
Just really incredible stuff. And Taos, a town known for its skiing. It's up in northern New Mexico, sort of on the Colorado border. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Definitely breaks the mindset of what you have when you think of New Mexico, when you think of the desert.
Sure.
It's definitely not what Taos looks like.
I've spent a lot of time up in Taos, particularly not in the winter either. The skiing is wonderful, but there's a lot more to it than that. Like great bars, great breweries, great restaurants, dancing, things to do in Taos. It's a great town. Had a lot of fun there. Rafting. Oh, have you ever gone rafting in northern New Mexico?
I have not gone rafting in northern New Mexico, but it sounds like I've got some work to do this summer.
You do indeed.
The captain, Sam Hamilton. Hamilton scored versus San Diego here on this pitch the last time out for the black and yellow. That in the USL Championship play. They've only had one home match here at the Lab so far. Next one coming up here in just a few days, as we'll be back. Orange County visiting the 505 on Saturday.
Little treat in that one. It will not be me here next to you. It'll be legendary Lobo head coach Heather Dyke.
And that is a Dave Leake on the spot. We haven't quite announced that yet. So
oops.
Heather Dyke, yeah, you're right. UNM Lobo women's head coach, U.S. women's national team former staffer Heather Dyke will be joining me here in the booth on Saturday for that one. So crazy excited for that.
You know, I always get upset at people for spilling the beans, and I just spilled the beans live on the air.
It's all right. It's all right. Really wanted to get through this game first, but hey, no better time, right?
No time like the present.
Kovsky. It's Harvey in the middle of the field. Over to Fuenmayor, the former Oakland Roots man. Spent last season under Juan Guerra there. With the transition as part of a really overhauled Phoenix team, Dave. Only 5 returning players from last season as Juan Guerra took over mid-season. Santi Moar gets plowed there, and he's going to stay down for just a little bit. And this is a player that both fan bases
want to concede, but it's pretty cool to be able to say, yeah, my first goal was conceded against one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
Not bad. There's a throw in here for Phoenix. "30 appearances, 23 starts last year. Actually scored against Rising in the 2021 playoffs to help RGV win in PKs. First gets run off the ball, no foul called.
And that pass wasn't particularly a pass to anyone. It was more of a get the ball out from under my feet while I'm being attacked here.
Moore able to win the ball back. And no, says the official.
That's not a foul call. It's a head injury.
And immediately the official motioning to the training staff to come out. It's Uzochukwu, the Nigerian, down on the pitch right now. Get another look here at this.
Looks like a little bit of incidental contact there with Moar. Moar kind of turning around, his arm flings back. Looks like it catches him in the face there.
Didn't look to be anything malicious there by any means.
No, none whatsoever. But referee has a duty in the last 2 years, and this rule has been instituted to stop the play there.
That's going to give us time to check out our Garcia Automotive Group keys to the game for New Mexico United. Win in the wide area, maintain your defensive intensity, and use the home field advantage. This is Phoenix's first trip to the lab in almost 3 years, over 3 years. We've also got time here to have a look at our injury report this evening. Injured at work, Ben Sherman can help. There's Christian Nava, Chris Wehan, both on the injury list for New Mexico United. Two dynamic playmakers. They could sure use either one of them tonight.
Well, and two guys who can play the number 10 will roll pretty dang well. So you don't have those guys on the pitch. It's going to make a big difference. You don't have your first choice or your second choice, number 10. Now, don't get me wrong. Zach Prince lives in a world of next man up, no excuses, but it's always difficult to not have those guys.
And Christian Nava scoring his first professional goal against Phoenix Rising in the match that took place last year, just across the street from us here over at the University of New Mexico Soccer Complex. Here's Wagner looking to feed it through for Hurst, and eventually poked free by Babukar Jai.
Jai played that one back toward Rakowski. Jai telling Rakowski, this was unintentional. I didn't play it back to you. You could have picked it up. Rakowski didn't want to take the chance and just cleared it away.
Terry Swartz, 27-year-old, scored 6 times for New Mexico United last season in 29 appearances. Hamilton back to Swartz. And Swartz eventually sees the ball run out, and throw and taken quickly. Hamilton has his cross attempt blocked.
Swartz begging for a foul there. He's brought down a few times, but I didn't see anything in that, frankly, myself. Swartz kind of falls over top of the ball, and it runs out of play. New Mexico gets the throw.
Gorgeous evening here in the 505. 66 degrees, just a slight breeze. We've been dealing with a little bit of wind over the past couple of days. Glad to see that things have really calmed down here today. It's a stunning evening, Dave. We're sitting here at the lab with our booth window wide open.
It's New Mexico, and it's April. You're going to deal with some wind, so we're pretty fortunate to not have that today.
Seymour floating this one in. Over the head of Wagner. Suggs over to Moore now. Here's the Spaniard, Santi Moore. Moore unleashes one and drags it.
The initial ball from Seymour towards Wagner was a good one. Wagner just got a step too early. He knew it. He took a step back, allowed the clearance to come in, and New Mexico got a second chance as a result of it. It's a heady play after the mistake there from Wagner by going a little bit too early.
Santi Moore, familiar with both fan bases, scored 12 goals for New Mexico United back in 2019. Notched 20 goals for Phoenix Rising over the past 3 seasons. Made 3 Open Cup appearances for Rising in that time. Didn't score. Did score 1 time for New Mexico United back in 2019 in Open Cup play in his 5 appearances. And Dave, who could forget the 8th minute goal at Minnesota United, scored by Santi Moar.
At that moment, New Mexico United was on top of the world. Now the 83 minutes that followed that, 82 minutes or so, were something else entirely. But to be in the quarterfinal, to take the lead in Minnesota against Minnesota United was something really special. You and I were both at that match.
We were fortunate to be able to attend the majority of those Open Cup matches. As Daniel Bruce was not expecting that one to get through.
It's a great ball in from Josh Suggs that goes just over the head of Babukar Jai. I think it carried a little bit more than Jai expected there. So you get kind of that in-between bounce between Jai and Bruce, and it's just a little bit out of reach, bouncing over his extended leg there. Now for a goal kick.
Bruce coming down with it in the center circle. Looking to send one over to Wagner. Instead, it's Hamilton off the ricochet. Justin Portillo finds Hurst. Over to Moar now, near side. Here's Santi Moar. Picked up by King. Cross attempt is blocked by the captain, Darnell King. '19th minute here at the Lab. Tyler Ortega, David Carl. Speaking of 19, Dave, something really cool going on here tonight at the Lab. All tickets in the stadium, just $19 for the first time in New Mexico United history to celebrate the Open Cup run that we were just speaking about back in 2019. So really cool to see a ton of people taking advantage of some of this pricing here.
Yeah, it's an awesome thing. If you're a fan who typically comes to a New Mexico United match, you can get in for $19. It might not be, front row. It might not be the center of the pitch, but this is an opportunity for fans on a Wednesday night to come on out and maybe experience a seat that they wouldn't typically have. Obviously, the supporter section full of people, the center of the pitch full of people. But again, people are able to experience something new and exciting.
And we're even selling suites for $19 a ticket, which
never have I ever seen that.
Looks like a couple of groups took advantage of that sweet deal.
I see what you did there.
Don't give me a yellow card. Cross goes in, back post, and it's sent away there by Josh Suggs. Played in once again. And it's going to be a corner kick for Phoenix Rising.
It's a nice clearance there off the cross there from Sam Hamilton. Able to avert any danger there, but it is the second corner of the match for Phoenix.
Bank of America corner kick coming up here for Phoenix Rising. Crutzen will head over to deliver. Met by Varela. Everybody piling up here at the near post. Crutzen's going to send this one in. Going back post instead. And it's dealt with momentarily.
Header out by Josh Suggs. First ball gets through. Short play.
Corner taken quickly. Sent in once again. Falls to Babukar Jai. Takes a touch. Still Jai. Floats it out. Here's Gallardo now. And Harry Swartz able to relieve some of the pressure. Again, Phoenix Rising on the attack. The Gambian, Babukar Jai. And eventually goes down after running into Harry Swartz.
That's good group tackling from Swartz and Hamilton there over in the corner.
Harry Swartz, native of the Boston area, is the official signals for the training staff to come on to have a look at Babukar Jai.
It's a head injury again there, signaled by the referee.
We'll get another look here at this TLC replays. You said it, Dave. It was great group tackling. Hamilton gets in initially, and then once he's able to work through there, just runs into Harry Swartz.
Yeah, that's just Jai losing his balance, going directly into the chest of Swartz. Nothing malicious there, but referee, again, has a duty, has a responsibility in this space to stop the play for head injury.
.22 minutes gone by, scoreless here at the Lab so far.
It'll be interesting to see who the referee gives this ball to, because when the whistle was blown, the ball was played toward Justin Portillo, but was immediately cleared away by a Phoenix player. So Interesting to see if this will be just a 50-50 drop ball, if the ball will be given to Portillo.
It looks like Varela and Conway both hanging out there next to Justin Portillo. Sam Hamilton starting to creep in now. Looks like our official still deciding. Eventually, we'll drop to New Mexico and we get back underway. Wagner has that one picked off his feet by Anguiano. Goes back to Alejandro Fuenmayor. Rakovsky sends that over the head of Babukar Jai, and I think Jai has been deemed by the home fans as the player that's going to get booed every time he touches the ball now.
Seems like they pick one every single match. It used to just be Yuma for El Paso, but that has now expanded, I think, to each match. They pick a different player and decide, yeah, that's the player we're booing today.
Here's Daniel Bruce. Finds Wagner. Flag stays down. And eventually that one picked off the teenager's feet.
Yeah, Wagner maybe turning in the wrong direction there. Ball comes to his left side. If he goes left, he's got a little bit of space and the potential to fire. He decides to turn right, turn inside, and he's met there by a couple of defenders, and ball's cleared away.
19-year-old Alex Wagner making his home debut here this evening.
We got a text there from Chris Hurst who said that your sweet shout-out was absolutely unacceptable.
Well, the best part about it is that he can do nothing except sit on the couch and listen to us for the next 60-plus minutes. So
more puns coming your way, Hursty.
This one floated forward. It's a foot race between Ryden and Conway. Kalen Ryden will see this one out.
And he'll see a field sign knocked over.
Kalen Ryden, Norman, Oklahoma native, 30 years old. Led the team last year with 113 clearances and 21 blocks. It's really been a defensive stalwart for the black and yellow since he came over in 2020.
Yeah, came over in that second year, but it feels like a year one player, excuse me. Been a captain for a few years as well for this team, a real leader, and somebody that fans really have been drawn to since he came over in 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only thing that disqualifies him is that he played for Real Monarchs here at the Lab and took a beating, 5-1 that time.
He did, and at that moment decided he wanted to play for New Mexico United, I think. Never wanted to be on the wrong end of one of those here again.
Fiesta Auto free kick here towards the middle of the pitch. It's Justin Portillo. New Orleans, Louisiana native. 8 goals last season, led the black and yellow. Bruce wins the header. Flicked on, and this was almost trouble. Instead, it's Rakovsky scooping it up.
Daniel Crutzen would tell you he knew exactly what he was doing there, playing the ball back to Rakovsky. Absolutely no problem. Alex Wagner a step faster, and he's through on goal.
Crutzen, the Dutch defender, missed the bulk of last season, recovering from ACL surgery, returned in September. Varela. Here's Harvey. Picked up a red card on the weekend. So he's getting some minutes here since he'll be missing the next league match.
Similar situation to what Justin Portillo faced in the second round for New Mexico United, receiving 2 yellow cards in the previous match against Monterey Bay and unable to play against NMSU UDA in that second round matchup, but was able to play, but wasn't able to play at the weekend on the following Saturday.
Hurst connecting with his former Phoenix teammate Moar. Now this one out for Wagner. Wagner tried to play the cross in, and it's dealt with by Harvey as far as Josh Suggs, and the veteran Josh Suggs just loses that one off his left foot.
Yeah, uncharacteristic there from Josh Suggs, usually very sure-footed. Also one of the quickest players on the team, despite being also one of the older players on the team. Josh Suggs been a leader for this team. This is the first year he's not a captain. Has ceded that responsibility to to Sam Hamilton, who is actually his longest-serving teammate in Josh Suggs' long and storied career.
Well, there's a stat for you.
There you go. Got that from the man himself.
Here's Jai, greeted by a chorus of boos from the fans here at the lab.
So I've found, Tyler, in the early going here in the season, again, New Mexico United this is only their second match at the lab, and they had another one over the second round at Rio Rancho High School. Fans pick their boo target based upon who goes down early. If they get an injury, whether it's a flop, whether it's a real injury, whatever it is, fans here don't like when a player's down, so that's who they pick. It's happened with Jai.
It's happened with Jai, and here comes Jai, leading the attack for Phoenix Rising. Varela, and that one eventually stolen by Josh Suggs.
It's a nice recovery from Josh Suggs, a nice anticipation. He sees the ball coming through as a through ball between the lines there. He saw it coming, intercepted, and was able to clear.
Looking back for Jai. They're obviously going at this position here with Harry Swartz and Will Seymour in that back line there. Gallardo floats this one over to Varela now. Varela was looking for Conway. And Guiano goes back to Fuenmayor and back to Rakovsky. Phoenix will reset. Diagonal ball played out for Jai on the far side. Brings it down, and the low cross blocked by Swartz. And great defensive play from Harry Swartz as he draws the foul.
A little bit of extracurriculars there as well. It's a nice defensive play from Harry Swartz to put his body between the ball and Jai as well.
So Fiesta Auto free kick here for New Mexico. Will Seymour, the Colorado Springs native, made 3 U.S. Open Cup appearances for the black and yellow over the last couple of years. 6 U.S. Open Cup appearances in his career. Get another look here on this TLC replay. Swartz just run down.
A little bit of back and forth there after the play. Swartz catches the leg from Jai, and then I think Swartz maybe gives a little bit extra back to Jai in return.
It's going to be a throw in here for the visitors. It's Cruzen. "30 minutes gone by, scoreless here at the lab. Tyler Ortega, David Carl on the call here this evening. U.S. Open Cup round 3.
That's a nice tackle there from Kalen Wright, and good recovery out for a corner.
So another Bank of America corner kick. And it's really been Phoenix Rising on the front foot over the last few minutes here, Dave.
Yeah, they have. They've been getting the majority of the chances. Only one shot for New Mexico United on the day. Technically, no shots for Phoenix, and neither with a shot on goal. But again, the third corner for Phoenix Rising, 2 of them in quick succession.
Here's Varela. Sending this one in back post. Skied over by Uzochukwu.
Quick take there from Parker.
Ford Parker looking for a little bit of redemption as Greg Hurst goes down. Moar asking for a card.
Yeah, that one looked like it hurt. Coming in late and low on Hurst there.
The Scotsman Greg Hurst is on his feet. 25-year-old making his 4th start in all competitions this season. Is getting another look here.
Didn't look to be anything malicious in that either. Hurst just catches a little bit of contact and goes down.
As I was saying, when Hurst was taken out, Ford Parker looking for a little bit of redemption. This is 4th U.S. Open Cup start. He's been victorious against UDA, was victorious against Las Vegas Legends. His only loss, Dave, coming to Phoenix Rising last year.
Yeah, by a 2-1 score. Played admirably in that match. And, Parker's gotten limited opportunities. Albuquerque native, obviously, so exciting to see him out there on the pitch.
Wagner tried to get out of the way and instead cleared away by Jai.
Yeah, Wagner looking to leave that one for Bruce, but may have been better just to take that one on the left foot and turn.
Parker slips as he sent this one wide. Instead, it's going to be a throw-in going back the other way with Phoenix.
Tyler, can you tell when Babu Karjai, has possession?
Not at all. Not at all.
How about now? Fans letting him know it.
King finds Uzochukwu. He's got Harvey making the run ahead of him. Here's Carlos Harvey. Finds Varela now. Varela taken down. And instead, Will Seymour giving a piggyback ride there to Conway.
Interesting to see the referee call that one back. New Mexico United trying to take the quick pass. Daniel Bruce getting into it quickly. Obviously, United have a right to play that ball quickly if they're not looking for 10 yards to be given, but referee indicating the ball was still rolling when the kick was taken.
William Hale, our official here tonight. We'll see. He is letting them play.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's not a ton of fouls called in the early going here. Obviously, no cards dealt out. We're 34 minutes in.
Bruce pitches this one over to Moar. Loses his footing momentarily. Here's the Spaniard, Santi Moar, looking to score against his former club. Instead, has his shot blocked by the Venezuelan Alejandro Fuenmayor.
That's a nice block from Fuenmayor, getting basically between himself and Moar in that space and heading it away, clear, and then cleared out of play as well by Gallardo. So it'll be a throw for United.
Santi Moar, once deemed the one-man wrecking crew from Ordez, Spain.
Shout out Mike Watts.
Shout out Mike Watts. Moar looking to do it all again there by himself on that last one. Long throw in.
Just to the left of the corner flag there. It'll be a throw for United.
Swartz. Step back and take a long gather once again here for this one.
I love seeing Sam Hamilton further up the pitch. It's been happening more and more lately. He scored a goal the other day.
Throw in here, flicked on.
And Hamilton was open, but he was well offside if he had gotten to that ball.
And the Scotsman, Greg Hurst, doing well to win the initial header there.
And I think that's really, frankly, smart play from Crutzen to leave Hamilton there, knowing that, again, if he gets a touch on it, he's well offside. Instead, his defensive efforts can be better utilized elsewhere.
Throw in here for New Mexico. Here's the Las Cruces, New Mexico native, Josh Suggs. Mentioned earlier, Dave, among the league leaders in USL Championship play when it comes to minutes played, Josh Suggs, who's the captain here for New Mexico over the first few seasons, all the way up until this season, actually.
Emotional leader for this club since they began in 2019. He's been an absolute stalwart for New Mexico United defensively and bombing up the side, the left and right sides. He's got the ability to do that. Still, again, one of the fastest players on the team and one of the smartest as well. And by the way, that's in a team full of very smart, heady players.
I mean, you just look at the pitch right now and you see a lot of veterans out there. This isn't a super young team by any means. Sure, you have your sprinkling of academy players in there here and there, but got a lot of veterans out there. You look at Will Seymour. You look at who's 30. You've got Kalen Ryden, who's 30. You've got Josh Suggs, 33. We've also got Sam Hamilton, who's out there, 27. Yearwood, who's not out there tonight, but 28. You can just see it. It's all over this roster.
Well, in the early going in the USL Championship season and league play so far, New Mexico has been the oldest average age in the entire USL Championship. Now, that's not to say that they don't have young players on the roster. They certainly do. Guys like Jose Sosa, Kyle Colonna come to mind. But those players haven't been getting as many minutes in the early going. Again, some of the veterans have been.
The captain, Darnell King. King's father actually played in the NFL for the Buccaneers. You can see he was certainly a beneficiary of those genetics as well. Here's Jai. Jai again, and sends this one across the face of goal to nobody.
It's a nice initial block there from Schwartz, but he gets turned around, something he didn't expect there. He puts his left foot in to block that initial, what would have been a cross across the face of goal. Stops that initial pass, but the ball deflects back toward play. Jai's able to go around him and fire one across the face of goal again, but high and out.
And through the first 38 minutes and change here, I don't think any other player has more touches than Babakar Jai.
No, Jai's been all over the pitch, and again, fans are well aware of that, but he's done well. He's had good movement.
Mayor able to get in there, break that one up.
It's always good to have a player who can build out of the back as well. You know, Jai obviously getting back defensively quite a bit, playing on that left side, but able to bomb forward, able to create chances, and able to send in good crosses so far for Phoenix.
And just looking at some of the numbers here, Babakar Jai has 5 more touches than any other Phoenix player. Add another one there to the list.
He's passing well. He's kind of running the offense out of that left side.
Here's King. Harvey now. Bruce able to come away with this one, and Daniel Bruce is off and running. He's got Wagner to his right in support. Still Bruce, and has his shot attempt blocked. It's going to fall to Santi Moar now. Moar's got plenty of support. Cuts it back. Moar has his shot blocked, and it's dealt with by Crutzen.
It's a heck of a run there from Daniel Bruce, beating 2 defenders, but ultimately blocked away. Called for the handball there as well.
So William Hale, our official, directing some traffic down there. And you said it, Daniel Bruce looks to be exhausted after making that run.
Yeah, it's more than I've run in the past year combined, Tyler. I know you like to get your morning miles, but no, it's a great run there from Bruce. He had Wagner over there on the right side. Opts to go for the shot himself. No one can fault him for that. Wagner open on the right side, and I think you're going to see a lot of interplay between those guys and Greg Hurst up top today.
Well, and it's interesting. You're seeing Daniel Bruce playing a little bit more centrally than you typically do. And so it's a little bit of a different role. I see the fans applauding Babakar Jai.
They're really supporting him. It's really nice to see the fans supporting a away player like that.
You know, for a rivalry that's as tense as this one is, the fans here in New Mexico, they may not have seen Phoenix Rising here at the lab, but that fire still burns deep.
Yeah, and you got to think, the last time these fans saw Phoenix Rising, whether at this pitch or across the street at UNM, it's a very, very different Phoenix team. They're a very different team even than last year.
Here's Moar, one-on-one with King. Moar tried to feed it through for Wagner and unable to get the shot on goal.
The initial pass there from Moar looked like it was deflected. Wagner still able to find his way to it, but well wide of goal goes Wagner.
6'1", 19-year-old Alex Wagner looking to score his first professional goal.
You want to talk about potential in bunches. I know we've already praised Wagner on this broadcast, but so exciting to see him get his first career start. The sky is the limit for this kid.
42nd minute, closing in on halftime. As Bruce able to pick this one away from Anguiano. Still Bruce being pulled back. Gets it off now, and Hurst has that one saved. The rebound, and it goes in. New Mexico takes the lead. Greg Hurst scores against his former club.
Greg Hurst getting his first career New Mexico United goal, opening the account. Rakowski immediately running over to the side. Official here wondering what's going on here. The initial ball blocked, comes back to Hurst, doesn't take no for an answer, fires it home for a 1-0 lead.
Greg Hurst has played in 2 ties in the U.S. Open Cup between New Mexico United and Phoenix Rising. He's scored on either side of them. What a way to open your account in black and yellow. And you could tell, Dave, just what it meant to him with that goal right after, or the reaction right after the goal.
Yeah, making it happen for New Mexico United. As you mentioned, the last time these two clubs met, it was Greg Hurst who scored for Phoenix. But again, evening the odds there, and immediately runs over to the supporter section, says hello, inhale a couple smoke bombs, have yourself a great time. Congratulations, Greg Hurst, on your first goal for United.
Goals are presented by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. And Greg Hurst puts New Mexico on top here in the 43rd minute with his first goal in black and yellow.
And that one will be unassisted. A lot of really great build-up play built there by Santi Moar and Daniel Bruce. But ultimately, that one deflected, comes back to her, so it'll be unassisted.
And that potentially exactly what New Mexico needed before the halftime break, but still work to do before then.
Well, New Mexico need to make sure they don't do what's happened already once this season, and did happen a few times last season, which was conceding right before the half. That's something that has haunted United, and in this situation, obviously hoping to avoid that and go into halftime with at least a 1-goal lead.
Hard challenge there from Darnell King. Got it right, said the official.
Yeah, nothing in that. It's a nice deflection, but now we get some extracurriculars after the play between Suggs, and not really sure who for Phoenix, maybe yelling at the whole team. Wagner now getting involved as is Hurst.
And this is interesting. You know, Josh Suggs, a very fiery player, but you don't typically see him get involved in stuff like this. And now more pushing and shoving going on. Fuenmayor is not afraid of getting some shoves in.
Yeah, Jai getting a couple shoves in there as well. If you're New Mexico United, you don't need this right now. You just went up 1-0. You don't need to distract from it. The momentum is all on your side. You're playing right into Phoenix's hands by getting into this.
And so the official, William Hale, will do his best to sort through what happened here. He's got Sam Hamilton, the captain here for New Mexico.
I'd be surprised to see any cards here. A couple of pushes and shoves here. Nothing that seemed really out of order. Obviously, conversation with the captain here, but maybe we will see a card.
All right, so we've got a yellow card pulled out. Let's see who it's going to go to. Darnell King is shown a yellow.
And a yellow to Suggs as well.
Josh Suggs also goes in the book. So 45th minute yellow cards. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. Cards presented by Ferguson Law Firm.
Again, I know I just mentioned this, and just to be a little bit redundant here, this is exactly what you don't want to do if you're New Mexico United. You just scored. You've got all the momentum going into halftime, and then you get a yellow. Again, you don't need to dive into that. Josh Suggs, a key player for this team. It's not something you want to see.
So with that leads us right up to first half stoppage time. 4 minutes of New Mexico Pinon coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion.
It's my favorite read you do.
That is the best one.
It's fun.
So double yellows late here in the first, just to add to the drama of the late goal.
It's an excellent tackle there from Santi Moar, anticipating the pass.
Here's King, fresh off his yellow. Back to Fuenmayor now. Here's Jai. Finds Varela now. Varela looking to scoop this one in, and Conway was not far off of an equalizer there.
That is an excellent ball from Varela on the turn. Didn't even look up, almost a no-look pass there, looking for Conway, and Conway is a half step away from making this 1-1 going into the half and getting that dreaded stoppage time goal that we just talked about against New Mexico United.
Ford Parker Posted a clean sheet last round for New Mexico. Didn't have a whole lot to do, in all honesty, against UDA and MSU. They did put together a few chances, but Ford, by and large, was a spectator for the most part.
Well, and you got to credit your teammates in that situation. And Ford Parker did after that match. Defensively, front to back, New Mexico defended really, really well. Obviously, scoring 6 goals, also a wonderful thing, but it was a team effort defensively, and Parker gets the shutout.
It was a Chukwu. Floats this one over. Here's Gallardo, and he sends this one over.
Good defensive pressure there from Will Seymour to get out and close the space, forcing a Chukwu into what ended up being a tough shot well over the bar and wide.
And I just want to go back to that point you were making about the defensive effort last round from New Mexico. It was not this traditional center back pairing that you typically see of Will Seymour and Kalen Ryden. In fact, it was Timothy Zali and Kyle Colonna both making their club debuts.
Yeah, and both doing really, really well. Both of them young players, first-year signings for New Mexico United, again, making their debuts and doing really well. Seymour, I believe, had a bit of a knock in that round, and Ryden got a little bit of a break. So, again, not the pairing you're used to seeing. And, again, we talked a little bit towards the top of the broadcast about which of these quote-unquote starters do you play? Which of these quote-unquote reserves do you play? And, again, Zach Prince doesn't necessarily believe in those terms, but it's interesting to see as you continue to progress through the tournament how that number shifts.
Long ball here, looking for Jai. He doesn't really make an attempt for it.
Parker will take his time here as he looks to get toward halftime with the lead. Doing some toe touches.
Yeah, and I think that's the mission here if you're New Mexico. Get into half with this 1-0 lead.
Tyler, how does a goal late in the half, and frankly, how does a yellow card late in the half change the team talk in your mind from Zach Prince?
Yeah, I think it's big, right? I think New Mexico dealt with large periods of Phoenix sort of being on the front foot. As
looks like Jai, maybe some extracurriculars after the play, and again, some more pushing and shoving going on. Jai, I don't know, did he throw a boot up there on Bruce after the play?
We'll wait to see the replay here as all of this is unfolding right here in front of us.
We know these teams don't like each other.
Bruce still on the ground. And Hurst is waving for
the trainer.
The trainer.
Replay just shown here on the big screen, and we'll see it here. It does look like Jai does kind of kick out at Bruce after the play. Oh, my goodness. That is late. That it's hard to say if that's intentional, but it looks like it hurts.
So we'll see here what our official William Hale decides, and it's a red card shown to Babukar Jai. Here in the 50th minute, 5 minutes into first half stoppage. And so that's going to see Phoenix Rising down to 10 men for the remainder of this match.
We saw the replay, and I said to you, Tyler, not sure if that was intentional or not. Obviously, official and the linesman there deeming that it was. And we got some more extracurriculars happening now.
And Jai, he is not going off. Instead, he wanted to stay and hang around and have some discussions here. And
looks like he and Schwartz going back and forth.
It was Portillo initially. And then a couple more United players joined in, and now Jai will be escorted out. And so fireworks unfolding here at the lab over the final 5 minutes in stoppage time here of the first half.
Again, it's good to see New Mexico United defending their teammates, right? Josh Suggs coming in, Greg Hurst coming in. Obviously, their teammate, Daniel Bruce, gets a pretty nasty kick there, and they're defending him. Obviously, you also want to try and avoid a card of your own. Jai's been sent off. You've won the day in that regard. Be careful. Don't get a card yourself. Don't get sent off yourself. You've got an advantage now for the next 45 minutes.
Have a look here and concede. Definitely look to be a little bit of a kick out there. And Daniel Bruce on his feet is...
Looks like
We're
Mertzen.
seeing more yellows being handed out.
Crutzen picks up a yellow there, looks like.
Looks like Wagner got one as well. We'll wait for confirmation before announcing any more yellows, but it definitely looked like Jai was not the only one to be booked.
And it seems to me as though those yellow cards, wherever they may be coming from or who they would be going to, rather, seem to be regarding the play after the play, not in the initial scrum that was between Jai and Bruce, but in what happened off the pitch just a few moments later.
And so after all of that, I'm here with a Fiesta free kick, and no, we're not. In fact, that is the first half whistle. And so the first half will end on that. Dave, your thoughts on the first 45?
It's a bizarre end to that half, all over the place. Obviously with the sending off of Jai, but then, again, the handbags on the sideline immediately following that, the back and forth, a couple cards given out. We're still waiting on confirmation to who those cards went to. And then the free kick for Phoenix not even being allowed to be taken. It's an interesting tidbit to end that half.
So tensions running high here at the Lab as New Mexico take the lead into halftime. 1-0 our halftime score, presented by First Financial. We're going to step aside. We'll be back in just a moment.
Since 1966, BIOS has provided quality appliances, electronics, and mattresses to Albuquerque and New Mexico.
And from day one, we've done everything as a team. Our commitment to our team, our community, and innovation has allowed us to serve Albuquerque and our surrounding areas for more than 50 years. We are proud to partner with New Mexico United,
because both of us believe in the values of loyalty, service, and togetherness.
Our longevity and growth is because we are united.
Somos unidos.
Flamenco is a language. Every step a verse, every movement a phrase. Born in Spain and expressed here in New Mexico.
Dime que sí, dime que no. Anda, dime primita de mi corazón.
The 2023 summer concert season is here at Sandia Resort and Casino. Join us to kick off Albuquerque's best concert venue for a season to remember. May 6th, ZZ Top. May 7th, Pitbull. May 12th, Steve Miller Band. May 19th, Billy Idol. Tickets available now at sandiacasino.com or the box office. The 2023 summer concert season kicks off at Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary.
Part desert, part mountain, part river. Albuquerque offers outdoor exhilaration you can't find anywhere else. Spend the perfect day hiking, biking, or even hot air ballooning, all within minutes of a vibrant city. Whether you're exploring hundreds of miles of trails or hundreds of years of history, Albuquerque will take your breath away. Start planning your Albuquerque adventure at visitabq.org.
It's halftime here at the Lab. The score is 1-1, presented by First Financial Credit Union between New Mexico United and Phoenix Rising FC. Tyler Ortega here alongside David Carl. And Dave, what a half that was as we've reached halftime, presented by Smith's Fresh for Everyone. Had a little bit of everything. There was a goal, some yellow cards, a red card, plenty to get into. But before we get into all of that, let's jump into some of our halftime programming here, starting first with our news and notes. And New Mexico United hosting the Fiesta de Nuevo Mexico night here on Saturday. Fans can expect to see New Mexico artists, music, and lowriders, and those sweet Taos kits once again.
Yeah, the third time New Mexico United is going to be wearing those kits this season. I love them. I'm wearing one right now. Again, not exactly the most professional thing for a broadcaster, but here we are.
New Mexico United saw a big traveling contingent of fans heading up to Colorado Springs this last weekend. Over 50 members of the Yellow and Black Army made their way up to Widener Field to cheer on the lads. And then Josh Winder, how about that? The Lou City product being called up to the U.S. men's national team, his first senior international call-up.
Yeah, really exciting to see that. It's good for the league. It's good for American soccer to see somebody like that. And I think there's only more to come, only really positive things coming for Josh.
Upcoming USL Championship schedule for this weekend. As we mentioned, we are right back here at the Lab on Saturday night, 7 p.m. Mountain kickoff between New Mexico United and Orange County Elsewhere, switchbacks taking on Pittsburgh. You're going to see Oakland taking on Miami, San Antonio doing battle with Lights, Loyal taking on Locomotive, and Rising taking on Loudoun. In the late game,
New Mexico United Orange County match. That'll be broadcast on Estrella TV. And then at 10 o'clock that night will be rebroadcast on KOAT.
Make sure to 10:30. Make sure to check that out. So taking a look here at some scores from the weekend. Loyal victorious over Tampa Bay Rowdies 1-0. The black and yellow falling on the road after going up 1-0. They drop to Switchbacks 2-1. Miami putting up a 4-piece on Lights, and Loudoun blanking Roots 2-0. Loudoun looking very good early on.
Some dynamism there between the East and the West, too. Not really one conference really taking superiority over the other. 2 wins for the East, 2 wins for the West.
This is what it looks like coming up here for the black and yellow, as we mentioned, right back here on Saturday. Then them hitting the road, Cinco de Mayo out in the Rio Grande Valley, as they'll be taking on the Toros on May 5th. And we're right back here for our third home match of the season against Monterey Bay. Then they'll travel out to the East Coast to take on Loudoun and come right back 10 days later to take on SAFC down at Toyota Field.
Yeah, taking on the champs there to close out May. Interesting to see playing Monterey Bay twice this early in the season.
USL Championship Team of the Week. There you see Phoenix normal goalkeeper Rocco Rios Novo getting the nod there, alongside Eder Borelli, Joe Corona, and Juan Agudelo. Christian Valesky, your eFootball Player of the Week.
Second time he's had that this year.
Second time. We're going to step aside as we take a look at a beautiful New Mexico Sunset U.S. Open Cup Round 3 between New Mexico United and Phoenix Rising.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Strike, and he finds the back of the net. For Ownby. Ownby cuts it back. Ownby's cross to the back. Oh, yeah! How about that start from Louisville City?
Welcome back here to the lab. U.S. Open Cup Round 3. New Mexico United. Phoenix Rising 1-0. The home side on top following a Greg Hurst goal in the 43rd minute. Tyler Ortega, David Carl here on hand. Let's go ahead and recap some of the action here from the first half. And Dave, it was fairly quiet up until about the 43rd minute, if you will, as we started things off. Greg Hurst, maybe a little bit of foreshadowing there with that attempt. He was able to eventually find the goal, but there, New Mexico getting a good attempt early on.
Yeah, some excellent hold-up play there from Alex Wagner to make a couple of these chances happen. See Santi Moar fire just wide there, but Wagner really showing a lot of promise, and ultimately it's Hurst who gets the goal. It comes through on a deflection, right? He gets the first shot off, it's blocked. Moar creates the initial chance, but then Hurst able to send the second one back in.
And we'll see that here in just a moment as Santi Moar this time looking to unleash one. That time, his shot blocked by Fuenmayor. And this, what you were just talking about, or actually, this was the long run that Daniel Bruce made, a lung-busting run all the way from the other side of the pitch. And then eventually, what you were just talking about, Santi Moar said no. New Mexico able to eventually find the goal.
And Bruce eludes two defenders on that play, just can't get past the third. If he does, he's through on goal. Again, had Wagner open over on the right, elects to take it himself. It's a heck of a play, ultimately doesn't result in a goal.
And Santi Moar scored once already for New Mexico in Open Cup play, that back in 2019. This the goal that we were talking about. The first for Greg Hurst in New Mexico United colors. Would typically say black and yellow, a little bit different tonight, but you can see just by his reaction what this goal meant to him.
And you can see the referee as well playing on for advantage there. So if that ball doesn't go in, we very well may have had a penalty on the play.
They tell you it's not exactly basketball here, but follow your shot as Greg Hurst able to tap this one home. And that goal scored in the 43rd minute, which I don't think we quite have any of this on replay, but the dust up that occurred right after that.
Yeah, the 43rd minute on became a bit of a different show entirely, as again, right after the goal is scored, shortly thereafter, you've got a bit of a dust up over and over again. Handbags happening more than one time on the sideline. So again, something that happens, a couple cards, player gets sent off, got interesting.
First half stats here presented by Duke City Cares, your medical family. New Mexico out shooting Rising 7-1. They've got 2 shots on target compared to 0 for the visitors. Rising out possessing the black and yellow. It's almost 60-40 here so far.
Possession is a useless stat. I'll say it until my face turns blue. Possession without chances, possession in your own half, in your own defensive third, it's not any indication of dominance. It's an indication that you hold the ball. Congratulations. If you do nothing with it, it doesn't matter. 1 yellow card for either side. And actually, it looks like Phoenix up to 3 yellow cards as we're working on getting confirmation for those 2 late. But the 1 red card that was shown to Babukar Jai late, which is definitely going to change the complexion of this game going forward. Yeah, 100%. You're coming in out of the halftime talk down to 10 men. That absolutely is going to change the way Juan Garrett does things. It'll be interesting to see how he changes formations in the second half.
We're going to step aside. We'll be back with the second 45 here from the lab in just a moment.
National Roofing, serving New Mexico for over 45 years. From complete re-roofs to our 24/7 service department, let us help protect and extend the life of your roof today. We work with you every step of the way to solve your roofing needs quickly and professionally. Our team of roofers are always on top of it, bringing high-quality commercial roofing to New Mexico homeowners. National Roofing, local company, national name. Call 505-883-3000 or go to nationalroofing.com to schedule a roof walk today.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Same plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30. Paul's got an exclusive.
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
This is a story about creativity, education, entrepreneurship, and cookies.
Well, mostly about cookies. Want to try one?
Kristen, where'd you learn to bake?
My grandma was my first teacher. She told me it was okay to be creative and take risks.
Like what?
Like green chili cookies. I haven't quite cracked the code on those yet.
Bummer. Was it a risk to open a bakery?
Definitely. But CNM gave me the skills to turn that passion into a reality.
That's amazing. At CNM, it's one college, infinite possibilities.
Back here at the lab, Tyler Ortega, David Carl on hand for the second 45 between New Mexico United and Phoenix Rising here in this U.S. Open Cup matchup. Dave, the fireworks that we saw at the end of the first half. Certainly going to change the complexion of this second half. New Mexico scoring in the 43rd minute. Then we see 2 yellow cards, double yellows handed out to Suggs and Darnell King. That was in the 45th minute. And then 5 minutes later into stoppage, we see 2 more yellows be handed out to Daniel Crutzen, Alejandro Fuenmayor, and then a red card handed out to Babukar Jai.
And we haven't yet heard if there will be any subs at halftime for Phoenix Rising. You have to expect that there may be. Obviously, losing Jai completely changes the complexion for them. So it'll be interesting to see what changes Juan Guerra makes.
The winner of this one will move on to play in the next round of the U.S. Open Cup and find out their fate tomorrow. The draw going on at what time?
Noon tomorrow for the round of 32.
Noon tomorrow, and that's noon Mountain Time.
Noon Mountain Time, yes.
Want to confirm, and there was one sub that came on for Phoenix, and looks like a second sub is going to be coming on as well. Looks like Arteaga.
And it looks like Munjoma as well.
So Conway is going to be replaced by Arteaga. We're hearing that Edwin Munjoma also coming on. Waiting to see who he's replaced. I believe they said Varela. Again, we'll work on getting confirmation there for you. Those substitutions brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. This is Gallardo in the center circle, ready to get things going here for Phoenix Rising. 10 men Phoenix Rising. Babukar Jai sent off in first half stoppage for kicking out at Daniel Bruce. And with that whistle, we are underway.
And if you're New Mexico United, you really want to take it to Phoenix early here, right? Use that numerical superiority that you now have, 11 men to 10. If you're Phoenix, maybe you want to calm it down a little bit. Play to your strengths in this situation, which for Phoenix is going to be passing around, trying to avoid that numerical superiority that Phoenix is going to have, that New Mexico, rather, is going to have in this situation.
We are getting confirmation here. It was Jackson Conway and Fede Varela that were subbed off here at the half, replaced by Eddie Munjoma and Manuel Arteaga. Munjoma, the 24-year-old out of McKinney, Texas, appeared in 17 matches for FC Dallas last year, scored a goal, had an assist. Here's Bruce. Looking for the run there of Uzochukwu. Was not quite on the same page.
And that tough pass from Uzochukwu created by the pressure that Santi Moar immediately applied. Suggs able to intercept it, but then his pass goes wayward.
Portillo able to tap this over to the captain, Sam Hamilton. Hamilton scored a goal last time out on this pitch. It was a 1-1 draw with San Diego Loyal back on April 15th. Bruce almost connected with Hurst there.
A little too much fire on that one. I don't think Hurst was ready for it.
Rakovsky over to Crutzen on a yellow card.
A lot of space in the middle of the pitch right now.
Lamar loses possession, coming back the other way. Gallardo finds Munjoma. Here's Eddie Munjoma. Cross attempt blocked there by Harry Swartz. And Swartz wins the foul.
Almost identical to the play early in the first half that Swartz had there against Babukar Jai, where Jai goes in to send across, Swartz dives in and then gets his body between the ball and Jai, and in this case, between the ball and Munjoma to draw the foul. Well done by Swartz.
There's Portillo. Swartz looking for Daniel Bruce, lets it run instead. Hamilton unable to get on the end of it, and Rakovsky will deal with the pressure.
Excellent communication there between Swartz, Hamilton, and Bruce there. Bruce leaving the ball for a driving Hamilton who wasn't quite able to make it.
There's Portillo. The goal scorer, Greg Hurst. Rising fans have heard that before. Back to Swartz. Making his second U.S. Open Cup appearance, Harry Swartz. Here's Suggs. Connects with Moar. Two members of the inaugural club here. Suggs plays the cross in, dealt with just for a moment, and instead they're going to call a foul on Alex Wagner.
Oh my goodness, Wagner shoved after the play.
And Harvey going to get a talking to. King already on a yellow card, as is Fuenmayor, so you can see them just going to keep their distance. That's the official, William Hale, having a word with them as we get another look here on this TLC replay.
So Wagner goes in, throws his shoulder in. And then when he gets up, Harvey gives him a shove on the back as well. Wagner going down maybe a little easy there.
For 19, he's a little bit of aware of himself.
He knows how the game is played.
(1-0), 50 minutes in. And so we're hearing now that the official has shown a Ferguson Law Firm yellow card to the Phoenix Rising bench. And you've been fouled. Call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. Cross played in, Arteaga. That one's sent away by Daniel Bruce.
Phoenix still creating some dangerous chances despite being down to 10 men here. It's a nice header away from Harry Swartz, but he was not at all in control of where that ball was, necessarily his positioning.
Arteaga, the halftime sub, scored 15 goals in 53 appearances for Indy, 11 over the past 2 seasons. 80 total career senior goals. And David's, it's a Wednesday night match on a few weeks' notice here tonight, but got to say the supporter section is loud and proud here tonight once again.
Yeah, best fans in New Mexico. Best fans, in the USL Championship, bar none. New Mexico United supporters doing a great job. Again, it's a Wednesday night. It's short notice, as the Open Cup always is, but they're out here. They're loud. They're banging drums. They're setting off smoke bombs, obviously hoping to set off a few more if they can get a few more goals. Yeah, but these fans, they come out, and they always have since 2019, and something for New Mexico to really be proud of.
The all-time series between these two clubs. Both sides have 2 wins each and 4 draws between the two. So tonight's result, unless it's a draw, will tip the scales in favor of one side.
Also in the all-time series between the two in Open Cup play. Obviously, this is the third match between the two. Each team advancing one time. United, as we mentioned in the pregame opener in 2019, and last season, Phoenix Rising.
Back in 2019, it was Fleming scoring from the spot in the 65th. Devin Sandoval bagging a brace for the black and yellow, scoring in the 79th to force extra time, netting in the 95th. And then Adam Yan scoring in the 105th. Here's Wagner. The Taos native looking to notch an assist here. Instead, it connects with Hurst. It'll go back out to Swartz.
It's a great move. It's a great ball low across the mouth of goal. Nobody home, but it's terrific from the youngster.
Those same Jan able to score in the 105th minute, force penalty kicks where New Mexico prevailed 3-4. You mentioned earlier, Dave, the Cody Mizell save on Cochran, which propelled the black and yellow onto the next round.
One of the more iconic calls in New Mexico United history from Tyler Terrence. Mizell gets the better of him. Cody Mizell had probably his most well-known save of his career in that moment.
It's hard to, you can make a case for that one, sure. What about the one against Colorado Rapids?
Yeah.
That penalty shootout.
Absolutely. A couple penalty shootouts in that Open Cup run. Obviously, the only time you're going to see penalty shootouts at this level is either going to be in the Open Cup or in the playoffs.
Yep.
It's going to be those two options. New Mexico United twice in the Open Cup and then once in the playoffs in the end of the 2020 season, the Western Conference semifinal against El Paso Locomotive FC.
Ford Parker forced to deal with this one, sends it over to his own technical area.
Again, Phoenix, despite being down to 10 men, still getting some decent pressure, still putting some uncomfortability into the United back line. See how well New Mexico handles this pressure.
Eddie Manjoma. He said, when I spoke to Juan, Coach Guerra, he let me know that the team just needs me to come in and be myself, which really gave me a lot of confidence. So you can see for the 24-year-old just coming out and playing. It's a very attacking option as a fullback. You can see him playing sort of as a winger here tonight.
And he's dynamic. He's fun to watch. He's making things happen, again, despite the numerical difference in the number of players on the pitch. Being down a man, he's still putting pressure on that United back line. And again, he's fun to watch.
Gallardo takes it quickly, connects with Harvey. Harvey eventually runs out of space. It's poked away by Ryden.
Nice stick-to-itiveness there from Kalen Ryden as Harvey did make his way through Seymour on that play.
Down goes Wagner holding his head. And Fuenmayor signals for a stoppage, and we're going to see the trainer Carlos Olivas come out for New Mexico United.
Did look like a little bit of a collision there. Nothing in it, but obviously not good. Doesn't feel good for Alex Wagner. And again, referee with no choice but to stop play. Suggs did have possession when that ball was blown dead, so New Mexico should have possession as they come at it.
So Director of Sports Medicine Carlos Olivas checks on Alex Wagner following that collision there. This could be okay.
Obviously, Wagner will have to come off, if at all. It will be brief. Don't think Alex Wagner wants to come off.
So we're going to see a first substitution for New Mexico United. Heading off, it's going to be the goal scorer, Greg Hurst. He's going to be replaced by Albuquerque native midfielder Sergio Rivas.
Good to see Sergio get some minutes. He's played really, really well the last few matches in Colorado Springs, and prior to that, I thought he was the best player on the pitch against San Diego. So good to see him get out here and get a few more minutes. Heck of a match from Greg Hurst, not just on the goal, but controlled possession up top and made some dangerous chances.
For Rivas, the 26-year-old, making his third U.S. Open Cup appearance for New Mexico. Still searching for his first goal in the tournament for the black and yellow.
Scored the first goal of last season in 2022 right here at the Lab.
It's one of his two goals last season as Seymour gets himself into a little bit of trouble. Luckily, Ryden able to make the recovery. He was dealing with Harvey and Arteaga coming 2-on-1.
Yeah, Kalen Ryden bails out his teammate there as Will puts a bad pass into the middle. It's intercepted, and back come Phoenix Rising. But Kalen Ryden, calm under pressure, able to clear the danger.
Down goes Bruce, drawing the Fiesta Auto free kick.
Daniel Bruce getting beat up tonight. He and Harry Swartz both have an uncanny knack to get their bodies between the ball and the attacker. And they draw a lot of fouls in that way. It's not a dive in the situation. It's merely positioning your body in a way that forces the opponent to commit a foul.
Daniel Bruce making his 8th Open Cup appearance for the black and yellow here tonight. Had a goal and an assist last round against UDA. In fact, assisted Jose Sosa's goal in just the 2nd minute to open up the scoring for the black and yellow.
Jose Sosa's first career goal in just the 2nd minute of his professional career.
Yeah, how about that? I'll have to go back and watch the film. It very well could have been his first touch for all that matter.
How many people can say they've done that as a pro?
Parker floats this one over to Swartz. Rivas now. Suggs. One of 4 players that have been on the roster since day one, Josh Suggs. Gets it right back from Santi Moar. Cross goes in, and he was looking for Wagner back post.
It's the right ball there from Josh Suggs, just doesn't quite make it to Wagner.
Suggs again. Suggs run out by Uzochukwu.
And that ball's played off of Suggs. It'll be out for a goal kick.
So great defensive work there by Uzo.
Tyler, does it feel to you like temperatures have dropped 10 to 15 degrees in the last couple minutes here?
Just about. I mean, and that's one of the things, right? Once the sun goes down, especially at this time of year, it can get cold pretty quickly. And that breeze that was keeping you cool earlier when it was blowing on you, it's now got a little bit of a chill to it.
We've got a heater on here in the booth, and earlier I was thinking it's too hot. Now it feels just right.
Still gorgeous out here in Albuquerque, just 58 degrees. Perfect night for some U.S. Open Cup action. The magic of the cup coming to the lab here for the first time this evening. What better way to welcome it than with the 3rd installment of New Mexico United versus Phoenix Rising in this tournament.
And again, as you mentioned earlier, a tiebreaker, both in the tournament and in all-time play between these two teams. Obviously, we can't have a draw today, so we're going to have a result one way or the other.
Well, in New Mexico, if want to see this one out, they could potentially look to maybe bag another. If you look back last time these two teams played here at the lab, is we'll pause on that for a second. Here's Gallardo sending this one into the box. Santi scuffs that one, and eventually the offside flag goes up on Gallardo.
Yeah, Gallardo was still offside from the initial ball he played back. Ball's deflected off of Santi, and then he clears that ball off of Arteaga, and still in an offside position in that situation was Gallardo.
What I was saying, last time these two teams played at the lab, it was Phoenix Rising scoring in the 90th minute. Joey Calistri securing the 2-2 draw, which, as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, that clinching the West for Phoenix that night. One of his 2 second-half goals there for Calistri that evening. Here's Rivas. Lamar. These two are fun to watch when they get on the field together.
You got a feeling Zach Prince not content just to sit back with a 1-0 lead. He's talked a lot about we need to go and get that second goal when we lead by 1. New Mexico United, they'd take a 1-0 lead, but Zach Prince would kill for a second goal right now.
There's Moar. Rivas. Still Rivas. And Rivas strikes the post.
It's really nice interplay between Rivas and Moar there.
So we're going to see another substitution here for Phoenix Rising. Jose Hernandez entering the match. He's going to replace Uzochukwu. Substitution brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. Here's Harvey. Looking to spread the play instead.
That's the 3rd sub for Phoenix Rising. Just 1 so far for United. That's Rivas obviously coming in for Greg Hurst.
Santi Moar. Still Moar. He's looking to connect there with Sam Hamilton.
It's a nice run there from Moar. Skates past a couple defenders. Tries to chip it toward Hamilton, but easily headed away.
Tiaga gets this one away to King. And King's pass goes straight to Sergio Rivas. Feels like play starting to settle down here in the second half as it wears on.
And on one hand, you think, yeah, that favors New Mexico United. Obviously, the team with the lead as the match goes on, you want to slow it down. You want to create fewer opportunities for the opponent. But again, as we said earlier, Zach Prince, is desperate for a second goal.
Desperate for a second goal. And when you look at some of the options that he's got on the bench, you see Josh Dowling, you see Amando Moreno, you even see the midfielder Andres Robles.
Academy product there, obviously. Speaking of New Mexico United Academy, a really exciting thing that happened this week in that space. 8 players from the United Academy had a signing day declaring where they're going to be going for college this season. So really happy to see that. A lot of success, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch for New Mexico United Academy.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point that you bring up, Dave. And maybe you could expand a little bit on how the New Mexico United Academy functions, how it differs from other academies around the nation. I'm sure we've got some first-time viewers maybe tuning in here, either from Phoenix or from around the league, whatever the case is. But why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's something that's really important. It's work at the Somos Unidos Foundation, the nonprofit arm of New Mexico United, and some of the work that they do, in addition to a lot of other programs. But one of the key things that they do is they make that academy program fully scholarship. It's completely free. If you make the team, you don't pay a dime. You can't pay. You can't pay for practice. You can't pay for equipment. You can't pay for travel. It's all completely scholarship through incredible community donations, community partners, and the work of the Somos Unidos Foundation. So in addition to that, in addition to being completely free and accessible for anybody who makes the team, they've existed for 2 years. In those 2 years, they finished top 5 in the nation both times. It's incredible work from the Somos Unidos Foundation and from the technical staff who put that together.
Awesome stuff. And you mentioned Robles, the academy product, as Swartz goes down. Robles seen some action there in the previous round. You also saw Miles Merritt make his club debut. We're seeing Alex Wagner here tonight. We've also seen, obviously, Christian Nava come through the ranks already. So a number of players working their way up through the academy system and getting minutes with the first team. Meaningful minutes.
Yeah, meaningful minutes. And something else you mentioned there about all 4 of the players you mentioned that maybe wasn't said, all 4 of them are New Mexicans.
Yep.
The talent, the level of talent here, the young talent is incredible. And it's something that is continuing to get an opportunity to continue to grow. Seeing professional coaching, being able to really have an opportunity to see the next level, whether that is collegiately, whether that is here with the first team, whether that's with the U23s who play in USL League 2. It's something that the club is really proud of and something that, frankly, you don't see very often for free.
Swartz just receiving a little bit of attention there after taking that shot.
He's going to come out.
Substitution brought to you by REDW and your match for New Mexico United.
So we're going to see Austin Yearwood replacing Harry Swartz. Substitution brought to you by REDW. There's no substitution for integrity.
And you were talking earlier about a couple of the day oneers. Austin Yearwood, another one. He's here from day one in 2019. One of the top 5 all-time in appearances for New Mexico United.
Austin Yearwood making his 93rd appearance in all competitions for the Black and Yellow here tonight. The 28-year-old out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Former Richmond Kickers man.
This is a Bank of America corner kick.
Again, Phoenix continuing to create opportunities here. That ball off the head of Suggs and out for a corner kick for Phoenix.
And still a lot of time here, just the 68th minute. A 1-0 lead here for the Black and Yellow. Thanks for hanging out with us, Tyler Ortega, David Carl here on the call. Crutzen on a yellow, picked up a yellow during first half stoppage. does not beat the first man. Instead, it's Justin Portillo heading this one away.
Justin Portillo, also not the tallest guy on the pitch, so got to get that ball a little higher if you're Crutzen.
Portillo listed at 5'6".
Listed.
You think they... Never mind.
Yeah, let's just leave that alone.
Never mind.
He's wearing cleats that day.
You said it. Venezuelan Fuenmayor.
That's well done from Suggs.
Bruce lets this one roll to Rakovsky. Gallardo. Substitute, Manjoma. Jose Hernandez. Crutzen now looking for Gallardo. Arteaga gets a touch and has the shot attempt blocked. What a goal that would have been.
A risky play there. I mean, you didn't really have any other option. If you're going to try and get it on frame, that's really all you could do. Kind of the half bicycle there, but Kalen Ryden steps in front and Austin Yearwood eventually clears away.
This is Fuenmayor, one of two Oakland Roots players that came over with Juan Guerra. Jose Hernandez was the other. Harvey connects with Manjoma. In space, here's King. Manjoma, what a challenge from Kalen Ryden.
That's a heck of a tackle from Kalen Ryden and great pressure from Santi Moar on the initial ball to force that pass into maybe not exactly where Phoenix wanted it. It's a heck of a clearance from Ryden, who leads the team in clearances and among the league leader in the USL Championship.
And if you're New Mexico, that's got to worry you. As the flag stays down here, and Parker has to come out and make a save. Arteaga getting through, and the New Mexico United defense looking at each other with palms up.
The linesman pointing, I believe, to Austin Yearwood, saying he kept him on side. From our angle, looked offside, but linesman disagrees, and he's the one that matters.
Rising, knocking on the door, looking for the second half equalizer. Here's Crutzen to deliver the Bank of America corner kick. Dealt with by Portillo once again. There's a little bit of theatrics there. He goes down. He's holding his wrist.
Don't like to see that.
As this one goes in, bounces back. Harvey whiffs on that second attempt, and Moar deals with the pressure. And how about this? Rakovsky has to come out and clear it in front of Wagner, who goes down with an injury.
Bruce and Wagner both down on the pitch. Bruce, as soon as he went down hard, has been holding his wrist the entire time. Looks like Wagner may be getting a cramp. He's getting stretched out by Rakovsky.
And Daniel Bruce got up high for that header and came down on that wrist.
That's concerning.
Bit concerning here, but
immediately calling for a sub is trainer Carlos Olivas.
Yeah, and there's Olivas, you can see, making the substitute motion. And so looking over at the New Mexico United technical area, it looks like you're going to see Josh Dalling and Amando Moreno coming on here as second half subs. So we're going to get another look here at this TLC replay.
Oof. Oh, that's not the way a wrist is supposed to bend. You have the team doctor now out on the pitch as well.
So Bruce will be tended to. We're here in the 73rd minute. U.S. Open Cup, round 3, New Mexico United, Phoenix Rising. Greg Hurst, the only goal scorer so far this evening, 43rd minute. He found the back of the net. However, our official has been kept very busy here this evening, handing out 4 yellows and a red card. Top of all of that.
Fans sending some appreciation and some support to Daniel Bruce, who does not look to be in good shape at the moment, being led off by the team doc.
So get back to it here. Just over 15 minutes plus stoppage time remain.
Certainly hoping for the best here for Daniel Bruce. It's a concerning situation.
So Wagner and Bruce substituted off. Will be the Englishman Josh Dalling and the El Salvadorian international Armando Moreno coming on for New Mexico.
El Sayahin, as Armando Moreno is known. Again, you got two players who get a bit of a knock. Not something you like to see, certainly not at the same time. All of his teammates coming over to Bruce right now to say hello and what they're thinking about him.
So those substitutions there for New Mexico, brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. So here's Dalling getting his first touches. Scored a hat trick last round for New Mexico. Club's first ever hat trick in Open Cup play.
And first overall hat trick since 2019.
It was Kevon Frater to score the last one.
That's right. Kevon Frater, Santi Moar, and Devin Sandoval all with hat tricks in that year.
Of course, Frater and Moar both playing for Phoenix Rising at different stints in their career as well.
Just over 15 minutes left to go here. Tyler, do you see Zach Prince trying to take a little bit of pressure off, a little bit maybe to sit back and be comfortable with the 1-0 lead, or do you see him continuing to push the pace?
I do not see New Mexico sitting back at all, especially when you look at some of their recent runs of results. They've lost 8 points from leading positions in USL Championship play. They traditionally, against Phoenix Rising, have conceded late goals for whether it be equalizers or to lose the game. So to answer your question, I absolutely do not see United sitting back here. And I think it was evidenced with those subs. You see a true number 9 in Dalling come in. You've got Armando Moreno who can play as a striker or as a number 10. And so Zach Prince really going to the bench and going through those options.
Seymour sees this ball over the end line. It'll be a corner kick for Phoenix here.
Gallardo. Venezuelan. One of 4 Venezuelan-born players on the Rising team. It's the most of any foreign nationality. Moreno going to be called for the foul.
Yeah.
Jose Hernandez
goes right through Hernandez there. That's an easy call for the referee right in front of him. And this is a dangerous place for a free kick for Phoenix.
You can see the foul there on the TLC replay. So getting word here of our official attendance tonight, 4,126 on hand here to watch New Mexico United and Phoenix Rising do battle for the 3rd time in U.S. Open Cup play.
Ford Parker about to earn his money here.
Parker setting up the wall. The Arteaga. And Arteaga rattles the woodwork and the rebound. And it's tapped home. Carlos Harvey equalizes for Rising here in the 77th minute. And 10 men Phoenix Rising have stunned the lab with just under 12 minutes to go.
Yeah, not the first rebound, but the second rebound. The first one off the upper 90, a perfectly placed ball. Second one comes out, doesn't go in, and Harvey pounces on the second rebound. As Parker's able to keep the first one out, well done on that play, but nothing he can do about Harvey's second attempt there. And Phoenix ties this one up.
Carlos Harvey made the USL Team of the Week in Week 5. Scores his U.S. Open Cup goal here tonight. And Rising have just equalized. And that's going to set things up for a compelling next 12 minutes and change, David.
Remember, this cannot end in a draw.
I was just about to say we might be settling in here for extra time.
And we talked about prior to that goal being scored, Phoenix was continuing to create chances despite being down to 10 men, really developing their tactics, getting forward, putting pressure on the New Mexico back line, and ultimately that dam breaks.
As I said, New Mexico traditionally have struggled protecting leads in the second half against this Phoenix Rising side.
Yeah, Phoenix has kind of a never say die attitude. They have for as long as United have been in the league and been playing against them. Again, not the first time that Phoenix has gotten the late equalizer or late winner.
Portillo. He nearly puts New Mexico ahead.
Yeah, it's a nice shot. Speculative, you initially thought when he lines up from about 25 yards out, but it's not wide, not too far wide of the post. Wide enough for Rakowski, obviously, but not in the back of the net. But it's a nice shot from Portillo and reminds Rakowski, I can fire from here.
So for Carlos Harvey, the Panama international, he scored once for his country in 3 caps. This is his first U.S. Open Cup goal. He had one appearance last season for Galaxy. This is his first appearance for Rising.
The question now becomes for Zach Prince's men, how do you respond? You're now faced with adversity like you haven't seen so far in this match. You're still up a man. You still have that numerical superiority. What are you going to do with that?
Suggs has that cross blocked, and just want to correct what I just said. Carlos Harvey actually scored last round as well. He scored the only goal in that matchup between Phoenix Rising and Greenville Triumph. And so Harvey with goals in back-to-back matches for Phoenix Rising sees things level here late. Moore. Still time for a moment of magic. Here's Yearwood. Switches play to Suggs. Moore now. Moore had that one. It looked to have been deflected. It was. So Bank of America corner kick coming up here for New Mexico.
Again, you got to try and get on the forward foot. You can't let the late Phoenix goal stop your momentum. New Mexico United need to press forward, put some shots on frame. I like Portillo firing from distance there. I like Moar firing from distance there. You're creating opportunities, and now you're in a corner.
Here's Justin Portillo. Scored last round. Falls to Suggs. Suggs unleashes one with the left, and that was Rising the entire time.
Again, you just talk about taking opportunities, even if they're from distance. You're letting Rakowski know that that's a possibility. You're keeping him a little bit off balance. And, if something comes up a little closer, of course they're going to take it. But there's nothing wrong with firing from distance here and keeping Phoenix on the back foot.
Fuenmayor. You can see fatigue perhaps just starting to set in here. Phoenix covering some miles recently. They were in San Antonio on the weekend, here in Albuquerque midweek, and something that may be lost on some, that the elevation here in Albuquerque, particularly here at the lab, it's nearly a mile high in elevation, which is slightly higher than what they deal with out there in the valley in Phoenix.
Yeah, you're not from New Mexico. That may not be something you don't expect. You think of New Mexico, maybe you think of desert, maybe you think of high desert even, but a mile high is unexpected.
Now, large parts of the city over a mile high in elevation, and the lab right here just on the threshold. Here goes Amando Moreno. There went Amando Moreno until he was pulled down. Fiesta Auto free kick is Rising players to play a bit of keep away there.
Yeah, brought down from behind is Moreno again. An easy call for the referee there.
Moreno making his first U.S. Open Cup appearance here tonight. Also made 10 caps for the El Salvadorian national team. This one goes in, and Hamilton puts the header right into the waiting arms of Patrick Rakowski.
When I tell you Sam Hamilton had space there, man, he have space. It's a good header on frame, but Rakowski, he's tall to it.
Fuenmayor. to switch the play. Near side, Munjoma. The official linesman says it went out. Our two linesmen here today, Ricardo Ocampo and Kevin Sanchez.
Always fun to see how one goal can shift not just the momentum, but how teams waste time. It was New Mexico United who was content maybe to take a little bit of time off the clock before, but now Phoenix playing a little keep away after every stop play.
Here's Moore. Lays it off for Suggs. Suggs was looking for Moreno at the back post. Instead, it's Portillo. Yearwood. Moreno, his cross headed out, and foul going to be called against Will Seymour.
Yeah, Seymour goes through the back of the defender there. Again, another easy call, and Phoenix will take their time getting this kickoff.
So the goal scorer, Carlos Harvey, is subbed off. He's replaced by Renzo Zambrano. Or Zambrano, the 28-year-old Venezuelan. Key piece in the midfield double pivot. Likely see him pairing up there with Hernandez.
Zambrano started every single USL championship match so far this season for Phoenix Rising.
Zambrano, there you see him coming on. He's played professionally on 3 continents, North and South America and Europe. He's well-traveled, to say the least. I got a few stamps in that passport.
It's a regular Tony Soler.
There's a name we haven't heard in a while. Yes, auto free kick here for New Mexico. And Munjoma is going to be booked.
Yeah, comes through, kicks that ball away after it already been moved once by one of his teammates. That'll get you in the book most times.
Ferguson Law Firm, yellow card. You've been fouled. Call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's personal leading injury attorneys for over 40 years. And what's ironic about that, Reed, is that I don't think any of the yellow cards issued tonight have been by way of fouls.
Not a single one. All extracurricular activities.
Funny the way that works out sometimes. Here's Santi Moar, the Spaniard. He scored goals on both sides of this rivalry. As Yearwood sends this one across the face of goal. Falls to Moar. Moar crosses. Looks like Portillo that's Rivas getting in there. Moar again. Cross goes in and finally dealt with. Here's Rivas. Moore. Falls to Darling. Takes a deflection. Darling once again! And the Englishman scores for New Mexico. And they go ahead 2-1 here in the 87th minute. Josh Darling scoring his 4th Open Cup goal in 2 rounds.
The man loves this tournament. 4 goals in 2 matches for Josh Darling. Second time tonight that New Mexico United have scored off of the rebound. Again, that's New Mexican grit. It's exactly what Zach Prince wants to see out of his guys. The first one doesn't go in, no big deal. They continue to fight. They get the goal. New Mexico United retakes the lead here very late.
87th minute goal for the Hillingdon, England native, Josh Darling. His 4th goal in tournament play this season. His first goal scored here at the Lab. And look what it means to him as he runs to celebrate with his teammates. More late drama here at the Lab.
Josh Darling just likes to wear turquoise is what it comes down to. Now,
Phoenix back in pursuit of another equalizer.
Now you're New Mexico United. Again, we talk about closing it down late. This is a test of your character. As Ford Parker comes off his line to claim that. This is a test of your character. Can you see this out? You've got about 2 minutes left, plus whatever the referee adds on for stoppage. Do you have the mental fortitude, the physical strength, the tenacity to see this one out?
That Josh Dalling goal brought to you by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. How about that for New Mexico? Both of their number 9s bagging goals here tonight. Greg Hurst and Josh Dalling.
Now Josh Suggs to take the throw, and he will take his time. Again, we talk about one goal, continuously shifting that.
And Suggs, a veteran of this league, knows how to waste some time, certainly. Stalling thought he had gotten away with one there. Instead, it's going to be Rising with the throw-in. 90th minute here at the Lab. There's going to be 7 minutes of New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. Buckle up, Dave.
Yeah, 2 minutes now becomes 9 minutes for New Mexico United. Can you see this out? Do you have the strength? Do you have the tenacity? Do you have the fortitude to see out this win? Supporter section is loud, Tyler.
Manjoma. The yellow already. Able to get by Yearwood, and Seymour comes up to clear this one out into the Rio Grande Credit Union family section.
It's excellent recovery there from Will Seymour. As Manjoma gets by Yearwood, Seymour comes up to sweep away the danger.
There's Eddie Manjoma, 24-year-old. Into stoppage we go.
This one's far from over, Tyler. Phoenix continuing to put pressure up top on New Mexico.
Woodson.
It's good work from Dalling.
So either way, however this match goes, the next round draw will be tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 12 o'clock noon Mountain Time.
That'll be on the Bleacher Report app and the Bleacher Report YouTube.
We'll have to make sure to check that out. Fans of either side, depending on which one advances. As of right now, New Mexico holding a 2-1 lead here in second half stoppage time.
And you can bet they are not counting their chickens before they're hatched. Going to do everything they can to see this one out. Phoenix is a dangerous team. They can score goals, and they can do it late. New Mexico is well aware of that.
Phoenix 1-2-1 on the road this season. It takes a deflection off of Hernandez. Moreno. Triple team there. Go all the way back to the German, Patrick Rakowski. Ryden has some work to do, and Parker able to send that one away.
Smart play there from Ryden. He could have cleared that out for a throw, but able to get it back to Parker, who can clear the area.
Hernandez looking for King. The captain, Darnell King. Indiano goes back to Crutzen.
Rakowski way out of his box.
Essentially playing as their 10th outfielder.
Sweeper keeper.
Ryden with some more work to do. Big time save from Parker. And the follow-up is skied by Arteaga. A golden opportunity for Phoenix Rising to equalize. And it goes over the crossbar into the supporter section.
It's a great initial save from Ford Parker, but New Mexico United dodges a bullet in that situation. By all intents and purposes, that should be 2-2. We should be even here and headed for extra time, but over the bar. It's a great save, as we said, from Parker there, and over the bar. New Mexico United dodges a big bullet there.
Ford Parker will take his time with this one. Ford Parker, the Albuquerque native. Spent some time at the University of New Mexico. Right across the street from us here.
And the site of the last meeting between these two teams.
You are correct. That a 7-0 win for New Mexico United, the largest win in club history in all competitions. Which was followed up by the previous round matchup against UDA, 6-0 win.
That match obviously against a depleted Phoenix Rising team in that situation.
Yep.
COVID was still very much on the front of mind for a lot of people in that time, and something that Phoenix was dealing with at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. And Darnell King, we see him out here tonight. He was one of two Phoenix Rising players to actually start that night.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately for him, to add salt to the wound of the 7-0 defeat, one of those 7 came off a Darnell King own goal.
That's right. Santi Moar tripped up here as he holds his ankle. Is going to get stretched out by teammate Sergio Rivas.
4,100 strong here at the lab tonight on a Wednesday for some U.S. Open Cup action. Moar run over by Fuenmayor, and Fuenmayor, he looks like he could double as a linebacker.
That man has some muscle on him, and he's not afraid to use it either. He really utilizes that to his advantage. One of the stronger players on the pitch.
Here was Moar just taking this one down to the corner flag as New Mexico on a time-wasting watch here.
Earning a throw are New Mexico here. And nobody in particular in a rush to take it.
Gamesmanship. '96th minute. 7 minutes minimum added on. This is going to be a corner now for New Mexico. So just watch how much time New Mexico can take off here.
So 95-15 is when the ball went out of play.
So they wasted 11 seconds in taking that corner. There'll be a throw in here for Phoenix.
They'll move significantly quicker, and up the pitch they'll attempt to.
And a yellow card is shown to Hernandez.
Fuenmayor tried to make his way about 20 yards down the sideline.
So it's a Ferguson Law yellow card when you've been fouled. Paul Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's personal leading injury attorneys for over 40 years.
Well done from Armando Moreno to cut that ball off in the midfield.
He's getting a little disorganized here.
And if you're New Mexico, that's not what you want to see. You want to see organization. You want to see calmness under pressure. You want to take some time off the clock.
45 seconds of the allotted 7 minimum minutes of stoppage time remaining.
Foul throw there that wasn't called. Seen a few of those tonight on both sides.
Rakonski sends this one long. So not over yet. Giano connects with the captain King and poked out by Sergio Rivas.
Rivas was looking to try and bend that ball around to Santi Moar, who was wide open and would have been clear through on goal at that time.
Lofted high into the box. Moar back to Suggs, and that's full time at the lab. New Mexico victorious. It's Josh Darling with the go-ahead goal in the 87th minute. That propels the black and yellow on to the next round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. David Carl, your quick thoughts on tonight's match.
Round of 32 here, New Mexico United come to draw tomorrow at noon. They saw it out when they needed to see it out. It takes a lot of mental fortitude, and they got it done.
Lots of mental fortitude. Phoenix down to 10 men for the entirety of the second half. They played very well. That is Santi Moar. Ford Parker. We've got plenty to get into here. It's our save of the match presented by Invigorate Roofing. It was Ford Parker for his big-time save in the 71st minute. He had that one covered, the Albuquerque native. And our Man of the match was Greg Hurst for his goal back in the 43rd minute, presented by Pepsi. The former Phoenix man scored in this tie last season for Phoenix Rising, this time scoring for New Mexico United. And then our play of the match was Josh Dowling. And that is sponsored by Michelob Ultra for his goal in the 87th minute. His 4th goal in U.S. Open Cup play, David. What a night to remember.
4 goals in 2 matches. It's impressive from Josh Dowling. Heck of a night. He just loves to score in turquoise.
We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll be back to put a ball on it right after this.
The call time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
From day one, REDW has been an integral partner, the first companies to say yes to the crazy idea of this soccer team that we all love. Because of REDW's belief, support, and expert financial guidance, United is in a better place today. Their focus on community-first initiatives is perfectly aligned with United's ethos. When they say integrity counts, they mean it, and we are forever grateful and thrilled to be partnered with REDW.
When you get proven quality at lower than low prices with Kroger brand products, it feels like you're winning. Find the proven quality you love at lower than low prices with Kroger brand products. Only at Smith's. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
Back here at the lab, Tyler Ortega, David Carl, New Mexico United 2, Phoenix Rising 1, full time. The black and yellow marching on to the round of 32 here in the U.S. Open Cup. Final score presented by Duke City Cares. And let's go ahead and have a look here, David, how this one played out tonight with our full-time stats, also presented by Duke City Cares. New Mexico out shooting Phoenix Rising 15-11, both sides with 4 shots on target. Phoenix still winning the possession battle. 6 yellow cards for the visitors compared to just 2 for the home side.
Yeah, New Mexico United really doing a good job with their superior numbers for most of this match, right? 11 men to 10 for the vast majority of this match as Phoenix gets a red card towards the end of the first half for Babu Karjai. Again, you do what you can with that. You're only able to do with what you're given, essentially, in that situation. So good on New Mexico United, making Phoenix uncomfortable. Let's get to the highlights.
Let's have a look at these full-time highlights brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. We'll start things off here. Greg Hurst getting the party started, 43rd minute, scoring against his former club.
Ain't no party like a Greg Hurst party because Greg Hurst party don't quit.
You almost
I'm going to get that right one of these times. Greg Hurst getting his first goal in the black and yellow, in this case the turquoise and black, and again against his former club, goes into the curse to celebrate. You love to see it.
And look what that meant, not only to him, but to the fans. He struggled a little bit, has Greg Hurst in his first few matches here with New Mexico. And what a way to open up your account here in a game that undoubtedly means so much to him. But here was Phoenix with the answer. Carlos Harvey scoring his second goal in as many Open Cup matches this season off of the rebound.
You got to give a lot of credit to Ford Parker for making that second save after the first ball went off the crossbar there right in the upper 90. He makes his way all the way across the mouth of goal here to keep that one out. But Harvey's right there to pounce on the rebound. Nothing Parker could have done about that. Again, his second goal in as many matches. Good on Harvey.
77th minute equalizer for Phoenix. But that was not it for the drama, as we're going to see here in just a moment, as Ford Parker at that moment there was thinking, oh no, not again. But Josh Dowling, the Englishman, coming through 10 minutes later, 87th minute, the go-ahead goal.
Both of New Mexico United's goals tonight on second chances, on rebounds. In fact, all 3 of the goals tonight on rebounds. So, again, you like to see that grit from your club, whether you're a Phoenix fan or a New Mexico United fan. 2-1, your final score.
The round of 32 draw is tomorrow. Make sure to check that out. That's going to be going down at 2 p.m. Eastern, 12 o'clock Mountain Time on the Bleacher Report app. And we're going to be right back here on Saturday, New Mexico hosting Orange County. Back to league play. Heather Dyke joining me on the broadcast for that one. So that's going to do it for us here tonight. Historic first-time matchup here at the Lab for our director, Gary Williams. David Carl, thank you for joining me on Color. My name is Tyler Ortega. We'll see you on the weekend.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.